Hey everyone, happy Valentine's Day. Hope everyone is doing well today, regardless of whether you're seeing someone or just doing something by yourself. Today's video is on Ocean Waves, the 1993 made-for-TV movie by Studio Ghibli. It was directed by Tomoori Mochizuki, who would also later go on to work on stuff like Code Geass, Ranma Half, as well as the Dirty Pair Flash OVAs, where they're much younger and look very different compared to the original classic Dirty Pair look. But yeah, we'll get going on this. But before I get too far into my analysis slash review, I just wanted to show off. This is the notebook I use for my reviews as well as brainstorming ideas for shorts and other video ideas. So I just got it at the local Myers on clearance one day and put some stickers on it to kind of decorate it. So yeah. So, Ocean Waves is also known as I Can Hear the Ocean, and this one's a little bit personal for me because Ocean Waves was the first video I watched by the YouTuber Grumpy G-san. I did a short talking about him, but he is essentially my inspiration for doing this channel, and it was the first video of his I watched, and he talked a lot about this movie and just seeing his other videos on all kinds of different obscure anime really inspired me to do my own channel. So it was kind of fortuitous that Ocean Waves is this month's Otaku Rose Challenge video. But so Ocean Waves is one of the more obscure Studio Ghibli movies because it wasn't part of the original distribution deal with Disney. For those of you younger anime fans who may not know, Disney and Studio Ghibli made an initial distribution deal to bring over their movies in the 90s. Things like Porco Rosso, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, Castle in the Sky, all the big ones. And also, Princess Mononoke, you might know, is a little bit infamous because Harvey Weinstein originally wanted to chop up the movie due to it being on the more violent side, but Miyazaki himself sent a katana to Weinstein with a simple note that said no cuts. So therefore Princess Mononoke got released by Miramax uncut. So that's just a fun little anecdote if you never heard that before. But the reason why Ocean Waves was not part of the deal was because it's a very mature story compared to Ghibli's other more fantastical stuff. It's basically a slice of life romance story between the main character, his best friend, and the girl they both pine for. And it deals with a lot of more mature themes such as menstruation, underage drinking, as well as social isolation, dealing with school harmony, as well as feelings of dealing with parents divorcing and teenage angst. So that's why it wasn't part of the initial Disney deal. Same thing with Only Yesterday as well, because this and Only What Yesterday and Ocean Waves are both very much not the usual Studio Ghibli fare. But actually, Ocean Waves is also the only Studio Ghibli movie to not get a dub. Even Only Yesterday got a dub with Daisy Ridley and Dev Patel, but Ocean Waves did not. So, and it didn't, and it didn't even get an official release here in America until the 2010s when G Kids took over the Studio Ghibli license from Disney and wound up releasing Ocean Waves as well as re-releasing the rest of the classic Ghibli franchise. So, but yeah, there's also scenes of smoking as well. So that it's just all those little things just kind of added up to why Disney didn't feel like it would be an appropriate movie for them to release. But the basic plot of Ocean Waves is our main character, Taku. You see him as an adult at the train station, and he looks across the platform and he sees a former classmate who he had a crush on as a teenager. And then it goes into a bit long. Rest of the movie is basically a flashback to when Taku is in high school with his friend Yutaka, and then they find this girl who moves to their school, Rikako, who moved along with her mom from Tokyo because her parents got a divorce. So it kind of is a bit of a love triangle as Taku and Yutaka are both pursuing Rikako to various degrees throughout the movie. At one point, Taku and Rikako run away to Tokyo to see her dad because she just feels so isolated being out in the countryside and not getting along not really conforming with the class. One of the big things in Japanese culture that isn't always brought up by American YouTubers is Japan is a very conformist culture. It's very much, you don't rock the boat, don't cause waves. And in Ocean Waves, Rikako is very much the outsider. She doesn't really get along with the other classmates. So it just prompts her at one point in the movie to, borrow a bunch of money from Taku and Yutaka and run away to Tokyo to see her dad. And Taku goes with her so she wouldn't be alone. And there she finds out that her dad is happy to see her, but he is already moving on with a new love interest. So that is very heartbreaking to Rikako and leads into the scenes of her getting drunk with Taku. And towards the end of the movie, when it's time for the school festival, Rikako gets into it with the other girls in her class because she doesn't want to participate in the school festival. And that's one of those big things that you see in anime and manga. There's always a school festival. Everyone takes part in it. Everyone does food stand, maid cafe, haunted house, all those kind of tropey things you see in anime. Rikako doesn't want to be a part of it, and so it just again you see that isolationist streak in her of not wanting to essentially conform to the class. So and then after that the flashback essentially ends, and then you see Taku and Yutaka reunited as older classmates at their school reunion, and then it brings up Rikako again. And I won't spoil the ending, but it was very heartwarming to me. Ocean Waves was originally intended as a quick, cheap made-for-TV movie by their younger staff. In fact, Mochizuki was the first director to do a Studio Ghibli movie who was not Miyazaki or Isao Takahata. Up until this point, it was those two who were essentially driving Studio Ghibli's great works. So unfortunately, Ocean Waves went over budget and schedule, so it didn't do as well as it had hoped, but it's still very much worth checking out. And for a made for TV anime movie, it still looks fantastic. Not quite to Studio Ghibli's usual standards, but it still looks great. It's fantastic. If you're looking for a more mature high school slice of life romance movie to watch on Valentine's Day, I definitely recommend this one. I watched it on HBO Max, and you can still get it on DVD and Blu-ray. So, yeah, definitely check out Ocean Waves. I highly recommend it. And yep, that's it for this month's Otaku Rose Challenge video. I do have my next March's video already selected, so I will be watching that in the next few weeks, and I'll be working on that. But thank you again, as always, for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you take care of yourself and each other, especially today on Valentine's Day. Especially your friends who may not be with anyone and may be lonely. Just maybe reach out to them and let them know you're thinking of them. Take care, and I will see you guys next time.